everybody. Welcome to episode 83 of Red Wings Rant. Tirades and passion pleas about your Detroit Red Wings now have a home. That's right. Matt. Wait, which direction is this going? I have my notes up, and let me pull the camera up so I can see Mike's face. There it is. Hey. All right. If I point this way,
that's Matt.
Mike.
Look, let's touch fingers. Okay.
Well, we've got some new.
I would have really freaked out.
We got some new games to play today. We've got some old games coming back. We're chock full of segments, just like Massimo Zanetti's favorite New York brand coffee, chock full of nuts. If you want to find Red Wings Rant wherever, go to bodpodcast.com or brothersofdiscussion.com. That is the home for Red Wings Rant. All of our episodes, the multi-per-week blogs, of course, half of those coming from Jesse L. that you can find. You can go straight to bodpodcast.com and find those blogs. They are the featured part of the website. And head on over to @BODHockey if you want to follow us on Twitter, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube right now. And what else do we have? Yeah, we do have that YouTube channel. We'd love you guys to check out. We are just listed as the Brothers of Discussion. We have everything split up, so you can find your Red Wings Rant stuff, and pro wrestling is the other topic we cover. All of that has been separated on the channel. Go check it out, and we're going to keep pushing out those videos, the weekly videos of some updates on Red Wings contracts, prospects, anybody that gets signed. We're doing an analysis of where the value's at for their contracts. So far, everything looking good. Tyler Bertuzzi, everybody we brought in as a free agent, nobody was overpaid. I think we can safely say that. But yeah, you can check that all out at our YouTube page. It's where we want the hub of the Brothers of Discussion to be located. Also, check everything out of the Hockey Podcast Network. You can see it. Oh, I took off. Where's that little bugger?
Take it off.
There it is. Right above Mike's head. There's that logo. The Hockey Podcast Network is at HockeyPodNet and thehockeypodcastnetwork.com. And I also want to make sure y'all know that today is the very last day to check out. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. If you haven't yet, what I'd like y'all to do is head on over to our Twitter. It's at BODHockey, and I want to show you guys what this looks like real quick. Is our giveaway that we're hoping people will share this. But all you have to do is retweet this post, which is pinned right now on our page. We have 28 retweets. I'm pretty sure like the San Jose Sharks podcast has like 50. So we've got some work to do today. But you got to retweet this post and then follow us on Twitter at BODHockey and follow HockeyPodNet. And you will be entered in for a Red Wing, or I guess you could pick whatever you wanted, but Red Wings jersey giveaway is how we're putting it.
A lot of us have Red Wing jerseys, right?
Right.
So this might be your opportunity to get your hands on that Seattle Kraken jersey.
Oh, there's a good idea.
A little Kraken action. All right.
Let me get this off the screen. Mike, we have our new Christmassy game we're going to play.
Yes. Speaking of Kraken, we're going to be cracking one open here in a minute.
Woo!
Brought to you by Rochester Mills Beer Company. Man,
I like that.
Stouts. Yeah, you like that little
yeah, a little growl on there. I like the sound of that. All right, so we're gonna be drinking. We'll crack these open in a second here. But it's 2020's milkshake stout, 12 Days of Christmas package that I found it at Meijer. If you guys are in the Detroit area. Mike, you found it at the local store, the local watering hole.
The Vine and Hops local watering hole. And at this place, they had okay prices, and you get ID twice.
Yeah, that was really sweet of them to make sure. Like, this guy know what he's getting himself into?
It's COVID season out there. Hold on your booties. So I had my mask on. They took my ID card and didn't just scrutinize it. They said, well, we got to scan it. I said, I had my mask on. So they scanned it. Everything went fine. And then, I don't know, they took a look at me carrying it with, cheruby cheeks. And they said, can we see that one more time? And so I pulled my mask down to show them my handsome baby face. And here we are today with Matt's breakfast time. We're going to start out with chalky chip pancake milk stout.
Yeah, I'm glad you picked this one because at first I was a little worried about drinking beer at 10 in the morning.
I missed breakfast, so I'm glad we're having pancakes.
All right. Now, I will say I am a fan.
So we're going to finish them, right? Here we go.
Oh, I got a glass.
A glass?
Yeah.
You got a free glass right here. It's in a can. Look at this.
I want to see what the head looks like.
So she said. Oh, my God. That's delightful.
Look at that. That's pretty. That did not take a lot of effort. Sometimes you got to put some effort to get a nice looking head on the old beer.
One of my first thoughts here, besides how delicious this is, if you go to like a distillery, right?
Yeah.
I went to one that they were talking about whiskey. And they're talking about, you get a Smirnoff and there's like 400 different flavors.
Yeah.
Those are masking agents because it's a low quality product. So they make it taste like sugar bombs. This being a chocolate chip pancake milk shake stout. You'd think it would be a low quality beer, but it's enjoyable.
Oh, you taking your sip already?
I'll spit it back out. Hold on.
Thank you. This is a 7 malt blend, 5.2% alcohol per volume, 20 IBUs, and obviously this is going to be your one pint can. That seems to be the go for all these local breweries and whatnot. I think it's the standard can or probably the cheapest can. I remember I used to have to buy these. Brewed with chocolate, milk sugars, and cocoa nibs. So I mean, Mike, the first thing I smelled just cracking this open, it is just straight up chocolate. I don't know if this needed to be labeled pancakes, but I guess I'm about to find out, right?
Yeah, I'm going to find out again.
Wow. All right. The milk part of this, the milkshake stout part, is very milky.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't even beer.
Yeah.
Let's taste. I
think they gave
is this just a chocolate shake? Oh my God.
What's the alcohol? It's a 5?
Yeah. Oh man, you could die on these things. Oh my God. I can't believe this is a 5. This is like milk. This is so smooth. That is an endorsement, by the way. I think there's some guys out there that are like, give me that Bud Light. I gotta taste piss when I'm drinking my beer. Not this guy. This guy wants something tasty in his mouth. You know what? Yeah, it's fuck. Running into that one. I want something tasty in my mouth. This like
it came out of a horse's dingle. I don't want it. Matt, let me ask you a line change question. Our first one of the episode.
I don't think we have.
If you don't have that graphic queued up, we'll just pretend it went by.
Yeah.
Would this beer be enhanced with a powdered sugar rim so it truly tasted like chocolate chip pancakes?
That's what I wanted to get into next. Does this really taste like chocolate chip pancakes? Because it's very milky. It's very easy to drink. And I'm sure that as we go through all 12 of these beers, are we going to continue to get that? I think so. But I'm not getting like this. It smells like chocolate, it could have been just called
chocolate.
Well, it could have been called kind of chocolatey, is what I was going to say, because we have another one in the box called double chocolate. So, if we're going to rate these, if I'm going to rate it on like drinkability, I think I've had things that are easier to drink. But out of 10, that's got to be like in the 8.5 range. For it matching the title, which I think is going to be key to this for 12 beers that we're going to drink. Matching the title, Mike, I'm going to give it like a 5.
Out of 5?
Out of 10.
Oh, I'm going to give it a 1. I eat a lot of breakfast food, and I would not drink that blindly and say, God damn, that is chocolate chip pancakes.
Well, be realistic. Come on. I'm giving it a 5 because you still get the chocolatey notes. But
put it on the can. You put it on the can. I should close my eyes and think that I'm at IHOP.
You think that it should come with a little fork on the side, that you should be digging chocolate chip pancakes.
There should be bits of butter, powdered sugar, and a chocolate chip floating around in there. When I jingle the can, I should hear chocolate chips banging around in there.
I mean, one of the elements too is I think the oh my gosh, the packaging. I mean, I don't know if you guys are watching on YouTube. I mean, that's what's on the can is some chocolate chip pancakes with some syrup and whipped cream on top. This can is beautiful.
If we're grading the judging a book by the cover, that's a 10 out of 10. That is a sexy pile of pancakes right there.
I'll give that, because I've seen some of the other cans, and this is definitely one of the better cans that we're going to be pulling out of that box. So, all right. So what did Mike?
That can is undisputed right there. That is a beautiful design. I love that.
All right. So you said I want to take these notes right now because I'm giving it an 8.5 for drinkability. I'm giving it a 5 for matching the flavor, and a 10 for the can. And Mike, you're going to match that 10 for the can, and you're giving it what's your drinkability rating there?
I will say a 10. It is super smooth. You'll be surprised to find out there's alcohol in it.
All right, I got to do that Portnoy guy from Barstool Sports, where he's doing those pizza reviews. So, them rookie numbers, you can't give whole numbers like that. He's a douche. I don't know. He never gives a 10 out of 10 because then he doesn't know where to go from there. So I respect
like a Meltzer disciple. Gotcha.
Yeah, he's a douche, but I respect that point of a 10 out of 10 means you can't go anywhere from there. All right, so matching the flavor, you're giving a 1, or do you want to?
It's very drinkable, but I don't think I'm very interested to see what happens when we drink the other chocolate flavors to see if there's any discernible difference.
And it is almost 12 different flavors of chocolate beer.
Yeah.
So I'll put the 1 down, and then we'll keep track of the matching the flavor. You can change it.
You know what? I mean, chocolate pancakes do have chocolate in them. It tastes like chocolate. I'll say a 4.
All right.
I'll come up from my very hasty score there.
Now I'm gonna weight the drinkability. That's got to be most of it. So I'm gonna probably just put this at like a 7. We'll say a 7 right now. I think I'll create a formula so we can put all these together. And Mike, I think this puts you in the same range because you gave it a 10 for drinkability. So we're probably at a 7 out of 10 overall for this beer.
Because sometimes when you drink like a stout, you'll I don't know, you'll feel like you had like a big mug of sleepy time tea. But this it just feels sweet and smooth, and I'm gonna be bummed when this can is empty. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'll say for bringing this to an event, Mike, bring it. If we ever get to do, oh my God, I can't think at all. What are those called before a football game? And you're a Buffalo Bills, you're a Buffalo Bills fan. You throw your buddy through a table. If there's ever tailgates again, bring this along because this is no, I guess you might die because it's so drinkable. I'm kind of all right. If you're a responsible person, bring this along because this isn't going to ruin your day. And if somebody's making pancakes, I think this will go great with it. But
like breakfast for dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
A little Brenner. Huh?
Yeah, a little Brenner. There we go. Some Brenner action when you're drinking this. I will say I'm a little sad that this is going to be gone now. But maybe I'll just buy another.
Our biggest mistake is not having a food to sample it with.
That's true. I am a big pizza and stout guy, so this is kind of sad. But anyway, that's right. We're gonna walk away from this segment. That is a 7 out of 10 on the old. The chocolate chip pancake milkshake stout from Rochester Mills. We'll be doing this for 12 straight episodes because we've got 12 cans of beer. We'll be going 2 episodes a week starting in December. So this will kind of ramp up a little bit once we get closer to Christmas. But yeah, 7 out of 10 on this guy. So if you guys are looking at least for one Rochester Mills beer, 7 out of 10 is not bad. All right.
Let's do some hockey.
I hope y'all enjoyed that. We had to get that out of the way because we wanted to make sure the beer was cold. Maybe we'll have to grab.
Ooh. I think that would even taste good warm. Anyway, I know we were going to talk about the prospect update, Matt. And
absolutely. I think I didn't upload my picture here for the prospect update. So I'm just going to go ahead. Let's go to eliteprospects.com. I'll share that instead. It's just like everybody seems to be talking about it. I think the point that I wanted to bring up was just that Blashill was asked, like, what are you getting out of everything that's going on right now with the Red Wings prospects playing overseas? And I gotta respect what he said. Was he doesn't watch it a lot, so he doesn't really know what to take from the points that are going on over there. So he's really just looking for what's going on from winning battles perspective kind of thing. So I'm a huge fan of just that coming out of Blashill's mouth, because I know people really hate Blashill, but at least he's looking at this and being, what do you want to say? I mean, he's being super realistic and he's being honest too. So here's what's going on eliteprospects.com. Please, Elite Prospects, don't do what AEW did to our podcast and make us delete this just because we're sharing your website. But a couple of right off the bat, you see Teddy. I'm calling him Teddy, Mike Niederbach, right at the top there. But you got to remember that he's getting all those points in the old J20, so he's playing children. So it's not impressive, and it does mean something. But don't take too much away from that leaderboard, meaning that he's NHL ready. I think it just means that we kind of nailed it prospect wise, right? Like you take somebody who maybe. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say what this table's missing is two items. One, the age of the player, and two, the age of the children that he's playing against.
Well,
to fully give you that content. I mean, you'll see a J20, but Theodor Niederbach, how old is he really?
Yeah, those are the questions that are impossible to answer. But if we pull up his profile,
well, it helps give you some context, because you might come flying, you might come in hot. Whoa, 35 points in 24 games, and then you figure out, oh, Theodor's like 27. What? He's not, but you just want to be aware in case he is.
Well, yeah, he's playing some children that are his age, so it's fine. And
he's playing against the Squirts right now.
Yeah, he's playing Squirts. That's why he's got. Or is it? No, it's called. Is it Pee Wee hockey still? I don't know. It's been so long since we used to have to go watch our cousins.
We laced him up.
The big one, Mike, is you jumped down the list a little bit. Moritz Seider just finished his 5-game point streak. Everybody was pretty stoked about that. Again, it is pretty cool to see these guys go over there and dominate. But I think there's also a reason that people leave these other leagues and come to the NHL. I think one is notoriety. You get money, a little bit more pills in the pockets. But I think that, we're obviously taking a step up in the competition. So I think it's just good to see that these guys are producing. We've played the game before, right? Like, what if this happened and you were pulling up just turd sandwich after turd sandwich? And that's where it starts to get a little disappointing. And, Mike, I think that's where you see some of these other guys having success, and you're starting to say, are they ready to make maybe a trip over into some more formidable opponents and I'll just say, as a Detroit Red Wing, like these guys are looking good over there. So there's more leaning them in the direction of joining the team, and that's more a comment for Moritz Seider. But you take a look at like Joe Veleno, Mike, and you pointed out to me. I know we don't like the plus minus stat, but it turns into one of those things where you start to you can't ignore it because he's easily the worst on the list.
Who else doesn't like the plus minus stat is Joe Veleno.
Right.
Coach, it's a misleading stat. I don't think it really shows how much I brought to all my shifts. I mean, they just happen to score. I'm in a lot of bad, defensive spots. I got to start a lot of faceoffs in my own zone. I don't have to go into Corsi with you. So, I'm really doing a great job out here. They can't wait to renew my rental contract. Everything's going great. 4 points, that's in 10 games. That's an old stat. Nobody does. Nobody does points anymore, Coach. It's all Corsi. No one cares about my no goals, my no assists. I am arguably an all-star. It's going really well.
It's going great. No, and I think we watched Veleno. Like he's always been that guy with like flashes, right? So there were the highlights about a month ago of Veleno coming in. I think it was his first game overseas and just absolutely tearing up the D, making space for himself and scoring a goal. Like a really great pullback D, getting the defender out of the way. And that's fine. That's great. I shouldn't say fine. That's fantastic. But we don't need the flashes. We need a guy where we're not making jokes like this. That's the realm we want to be in, right, Mike? Like where we're not saying at the start of the analysis of Joe Veleno, we don't want to be saying, well, we hate plus minus, but you know what I mean? Like we are lacking like real analytics for us to dive deep into just from going to eliteprospects.com. So that's where this gets so much harder to dissect. But we'd like to be at a point with Joe Veleno where we're not putting like asterisks on his performance over there. I think that's the disappointing part. But if we wrap this conversation up, I think there's a lot to be happy about, and that's kind of why we wanted to bring it up. Mike, how did we learned how to say Jonathan today?
Jonathan Berggren. Yeah,
right.
You got to say it a little bit like a Viking, so kind of have that Viking thought in your head.
It was slightly computerized too. Jonathan Berggren. So that's the official way to say it, Red Wings fans. We had Elite Prospects tell us that today. So those numbers are ones that we're not breaking news to anybody that Jonathan's doing an amazing job over in the SHL right now. But I think yeah, there's more positives than negatives, and that's what I want to pull. If ultimately from all of this, it's just that I think we could be a little bit more excited, especially with Seider doing the 5-game point streak again. It's so hard I don't want to focus on that. I think we just see that he's performing like the size of his body says he should perform, right? I mean, how many years did we have to watch Eriksson not realize that he's a beast on skates? So it's good to see Seider throwing his weight around. It's good to see, I guess, like Blashill said, the puck battles being won by most of the guys on this list. I think we just want to see a Veleno performance that doesn't come with all of these. Well, if and we don't really and asterisk blah blah blah. Right. So there's the disappointing side is probably just Joe Veleno, but everything else seems to be thumbs up. So
I'm encouraged whenever I see defenders scoring points. So it's kind of cool to see Hronik, William Wallander, Mo Seider, and Johansson all contributing to stat sheets. So even contextually knowing that they're playing against the squirk, from South Park and Mino Bear, but
they're playing. So it's pretty much Niederbach is the one where we had to throw the asterisk. Wallander, same thing.
Oh yeah,
everybody else
in the SHL too.
Yeah, a lot of them are performing fantastically in those adult leagues over there. So that's the thumbs up. That's where you start to like lean in and go, oh boy, we might have nailed it.
I hope we have suddenly top four defensemen just hanging out in Europe for a little while. So there you go.
And one more element to that too. Like I know again, we all want to be excited that they are putting up points, but this is just the human side of things, Mike. Every day that they are over there, I think they start to lose. We can say no, they're adults. They know like not to lose too many habits, but habits are born from repetition. So the longer that they're over in that league, they are getting further away from what the NHL game needs to be to win. So that's the scary part, but I think it is good. I think if we had to pick, I think we'd rather that they were putting up these numbers and looking good over there in Europe as opposed to what Joe Veleno's doing. All right, so moving on. Greg Wyshynski got an opportunity to speak with Commissioner Gary Bettman. Mike, just real quick. Right. We have another hub model. We have another hub model being talked about. That's my Gary Bettman.
Oh, I thought that was your John Mulaney. But go
ahead.
That
was my impression of Greg Wyshynski doing Gary Bettman. So I listened to too much Puck Soup. So they're exploring the possibility, Mike, of playing in their own buildings without fans. It's going to be an arena by arena issue, but they're also talking about a hub situation where you come and play for 10 to 12 days and then you go home for a week, which is exactly what you and I said. And I love the firefighter shift. I love we're going to have a couple of teams. We'll have them rotate in and out. You have, in that hub, chunks of teams, and you're going to get to know different hockey teams. Mike, how about that? How about the NHL could actually set up a way for Detroit Red Wings fans to watch other hockey teams, because the Red Wings will eventually take a week off. And then we're going to be starving for hockey. So what do we watch? Other teams. I think this could be an amazing way to build the league, focus on some of the star players, and give hockey fans a chance to go, wow, this is better than just watching one team. Holy crap. I think that model is going to be perfect for safety, because Mike, we're breaking records on a daily basis, to the point, Mike, where we're probably going to have to cancel our Thanksgiving Day plans. And I mean, how do you look at these numbers right now, these COVID numbers? And one thing I should mention too, with my resource I have upstairs right now, Miss Doctor Lady.
Dr. Wife.
Doctor, my wife. That's my Venture Brothers. Nobody watches Venture Brothers. I don't know why.
We don't know what you're talking about, man. What is that?
Seriously, anybody in the comments, if you've ever watched the Venture Brothers, make me feel better. I
thought Dr. Wife sounded a little like Scrubsian, so I thought you were going to latch onto that a little bit. But
that would have been. Anyways,
okay. You can come back. Bring it back. Bring it home, Matt.
So, just a real quick little note about what's going on with the COVID situation is that normally what you'd see in a testing situation for COVID is 2% being positive, but we're seeing 12% right now, which means even though these numbers are breaking records, they're probably a lot higher. So the amount of people that actually have COVID is a lot higher than what we're seeing in the positive cases. So again, just think about it that way. It's usually 2% positive rate for whoever gets tested for COVID and what turns out to be positive. And right now it's 12%.
I voted for Joe Biden for nothing. God damn it.
Yeah. Can you believe Joe? God, wins the election and this is the shit we got.
What a dick. Yep, he brought it with him, I think. But I gotta say, I really like this idea. Where you said a firefighter. I was gonna go with a nurse rotation, where you kind of you crunch all your hours into a couple days. Then you come home with dark circles under your eyes and a crying baby, and then you cry yourself to sleep like Moira Rose in Schitt's Creek. I just finished crying myself to sleep. And then after that, you get a week off, and then you come back and grind again. But Moira jokes aside, the only little nugget about this that is a little odd is it makes sense to do it almost like a baseball series to get, all right, let's do all of our Tampa Bay games in a row. We'll knock that series out. Boom. So then we don't have to worry about, the Florida team, doing battle with the Red Wings again. The only problem with that, and it's kind of the magic of the regular season, is that let's say Nikita Kucherov misses the first month with, some nagging injury. So he's out. If you do it like this with the baseball series style, that means you could potentially just get no games with Nikita Kucherov against the Red Wings. So, in a world where I know it's such a small thing, but it can be to a point where a league so desperate to market stars, it could just make it a little bit tougher, in certain areas where you might miss your chance to see some of the good players if you do it like that.
Well, I think you have to do it in a way that you have to prepare for the best case and the worst case scenario. So if Kucherov gets hurt in a regular world, we're still screwed by that. We still don't get to see Kucherov. He still doesn't get to be put on the platform that he deserves to be on. So if we do it like this, though, what I'm saying is those opportunities to watch those other players happens while you're watching other teams play hockey. There will be Red Wings fans that'll go, all right, shoot, now I just don't have hockey to watch for a week. But there will be a good chunk of fans who spend a lot of time watching hockey. They spend a lot of time watching Red Wing hockey, and this will give them a break every, at least once a month or maybe twice a month to check out somebody else. So I will stand pat and say this would be a good opportunity to see some other hockey teams and to see some other players. And it's something that would be so unique because even every other sport, like you watch football, you've got your team, and then you've got like 3 other games that you can watch other football teams play. Either that or your team just sucks like the Detroit Lions, and you're already in the mode of like, well, I'm not watching them anyway, so I'm going to watch somebody else. Like that. That's your best case scenario for checking out other football teams. But if you have a good football team, again, you've got like 4 other games to choose from. But from this hockey perspective, I like that week off, and you could pick and choose between the different hockey teams you're going to pick up when your team's taking 7 days off.
Yeah, the only times it might be a little bit of an adventure are the weeks where we have to feature like the Pacific Division, where you kind of have a lot of Canadian teams. So trying to sell it in the United States might be a little bit tough. I mean, you're talking about getting people to tune in for Calgary versus Vancouver, but you'll get the Vegas Knights, which I think they have a little bit of a following nationally. And then the other poo-poo division, which selfishly we would be okay with it. You might have to watch the Atlantic that had Buffalo, Ottawa, and Detroit in it. Woo! So that might be
right.
A little rough on the numbers coming in.
I still side with the idea that this is that opportunity to watch those other teams. So maybe you're right. Maybe it is tougher to market because we don't have. We don't have a relationship, but that's where I'm saying like you create that relationship in this instance.
Yeah,
like that's what this is for.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that. Again, I kind of like the idea of doing a break, and then it just might stink. Like if one player gets it, you essentially have to quarantine the whole team, and then you might have to quarantine like a whole week of scheduled play. And then if you had a break scheduled the next week, I don't know what you do if you just go like 2 weeks without Red Wings playing.
Well, I think that would be why they don't have anything out yet, right? Because they're still planning it. They're still trying to figure out how are we going to do this. So I think what they're trying to do is create a contingency plan. So when a team does fall into that situation, they can maybe work that week off into it somewhere. And I think the teams will take time off in chunks. Like it'll be the same team. So those same divisional matchups, or maybe they're going to reorganize the league for this season. But either way, if that whole chunk has to take time off, you'd be in the same situation anyway. And then when they come back, the only issue is going to be my plan to watch other hockey will just be out the window because they'll be playing at the same time again. But again, are you really hurt there? Because it's the situation you were used to anyway. Yeah. I'm going to say I love it. And I almost love it as much, Mike, as I have been loving my lawnmower 3.0 that has been cutting away at my pubis for months now, keeping me high and tight, nice and dry. You've got the nice slick cut, just poof, right down. You can go fast with this sucker. You can go whip it around. It's no problem at all because this thing is going to avoid all the nicks and scrapes that you normally get if you're using that thing that you're shaving your face with. All those problems are gone. You get to keep a nice, clean razor for your face and no more bloody stumps down at your base. Hey, base and face. All right. Anyways, so shave nice and clean down in that area. I'm telling you, like, again, all the summer projects, super easy to do. Right now, in my office right now, got my shorts going. Got a heater down here. I don't have to worry about getting too hot. Why, Mike? Because my lawnmower 3.0. That's why. So if you guys want to get in on the lawnmower 3.0 adventure, go to manscaped.com and use promo code THPN to get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Promo code THPN. That's 20% off and free shipping. You're going to get this tool with the 7,000 RPM motor. It's got the LED light to shine where the sun don't shine. It's got the quiet stroke technology. It's got that beautiful charging stance so you can let all your loved ones know that are coming over to visit for the holidays that, you know what, don't have too many people visit over the holidays. Just live stream from your bathroom and show everybody that you have the lawnmower 3.0, keeping you clean. That's the way to go. All right. Everybody, manscaped.com, promo code THPN gets you 20% off and free shipping. I'm telling you, you're not going to be disappointed. Go check it out. All right. I think that was the fastest I've ever gotten through that, and I'm pretty proud of that because we really do hang on to that too long. Mike, another thing we did this week.
I love these segments. Let's get in.
Another segment. All right, let's do this right. All right, Mike, we're gonna talk about being the GM. All right, there it is. Say that gave me time to pull this up, so that's why you do it.
All right, hit me with that question, man. What do you got?
All right, so this week's situation, and this is so important because we did get a little bit of pushback. The situation was we're nearing the trade deadline, and Tyler Bertuzzi trade discussions are heating up. So it doesn't matter if you do or don't want to trade Tyler Bertuzzi, Mike. That's the key here. You got to read the question. We're not saying we absolutely have to get rid of Tyler. We're saying if it was about to happen, what do we do next? All right, so that being the situation, what is the lowest level of return you're willing to accept for Bert? So the conversation has heated up. You have people calling Steve Yzerman going, all right, we're going to give you this for Tyler. We're going to give you this for Tyler. Blah, 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 blah. Mike, I gave the option of a 2021 first round being, again, this is the lowest level of return. 2022 first rounder, second rounder and a prospect, multiple picks and a veteran. Crushing it with the win. The absolute lowest that Red Wings fans are willing to accept for Tyler Bertuzzi is a 2021 first rounder.
I don't think they're wrong.
All right. I would, if somebody offered me a 2022 first rounder, I'd be okay with it.
You know, we got to start doing the drop from half of Breezango because it's Tyler. Down. I don't think you could take less than a first round pick for a guy who's going to be a top 6 forward or one of the best top 9 forwards ever. If he's coming up the wing on your third line, I think you're a pretty privileged team. So I think the Red Wings are in a good spot where they could, get a little greedy with those desires if somebody comes calling. I gotta say, I don't see him being moved. I think his short-term contract is just a negotiation ploy by Yzerman to be like, all right, just prove it, and then we'll give you a Red Wing mortgage. So let's see what you got. You know, last year we're kind of wiping the slate clean for a lot of guys because it was just top to bottom toilet play from pretty much everybody down. So we're going to give you kind of a soft reboot here with a somewhat more inarguably healthier defense. Oh, that's beautiful. A healthier defense, a more skilled defense. We're bringing in the Grice man, and let's see what happens. All right, this is your chance to make some money, son. You got to earn, son. So now we're giving you defense. Let's see what you got.
Now, my concern comes back to what actually happened in the arbitration with somebody who is outside of the organization is determining what Bertuzzi's salary would be, and him not going near or closer to what Bertuzzi was asking for. And then again, us looking at all of the comparable players that we did a few weeks back that you can find at bodpodcast.com and seeing that Bertuzzi is far underpaid when compared to anybody else that's around his production level, either from a possession standpoint, from advanced analytics, or you just look strictly at points in a top 6 forward and what is Bertuzzi performing at? What is he getting paid compared to anybody else in that level? He's far underneath what some others are being offered right now. And especially the idea too, that's a 1-year contract. So based on that, what is the rest of the league seeing when they look at Tyler Bertuzzi? Are they seeing that potential, or are they seeing a guy that's looking good on a team that's not great? And what do you pull from that? Are you saying he's the shiniest turd, or are you saying that, oh my gosh, can you believe what he's been able to pull off with absolutely nothing around him? Now, one thing I recommend everybody takes a quick peek at, and it popped up here for a second, is Jesse came in with a far more in-depth analysis. If you guys want to check that out at bodpodcast.com. But you can see, Mike, I made our meme, I don't know, our graphic for this series, because we're not only taking a look at Tyler Bertuzzi, we just started there, but we're going to take a look at everybody going week to week as we get closer to the season. Like, where is the trade value at? What makes sense? What is it something that you absolutely need to get rid of this guy? Is there more potential in keeping a player? All of that and more going into this series. So again, some people could get upset that we asked, how much do you get back for Tyler Bertuzzi, because you want to see him play? But also, let's not forget, folks, we might not have hockey for a very long time. So this is what we got to do to make sure we have stuff to talk about. But yeah, go to bodpodcast.com, check out Jesse's article, and you can see, Bobby Ryan could be next. You could have John Merrill coming up next. Who else are we going to talk about? You guys know. Anybody that's got those short-term deals, we want to figure out, should they stick around, and what can we get back for them? So I like where Jesse went with this. I want you guys to check it out. I do think one element I would make my point. I would rather you guys went and checked out what Jesse had to say, because we actually agreed on what would be the best return. And it has a lot to do with, Mike, the prospect development over the next year for any of these guys that might miss out on some hockey because of COVID. So that's where maybe I just led the witness into which draft pick is more important. But yeah, go check out bodpodcast.com so you can see what Jesse's thoughts were. I agree, so I don't want to steal his thunder. So you guys just go check that out. And Mike, we've got another segment here, a return of an old favorite.
Is it time? Is it time, Matt?
I think it might be time.
It's definitely time. You know what it's time for? Another exciting segment starring head coach Jeff Blashill. Matt, it's Who's It Pokemon? Where what I'm going to do is cherry pick out of context a real line from head coach Jeff Blashill. You never know. It might be presented by commentator. I almost called him James Woods. It's gonna be shared by Paul Woods, not James Woods.
James Woods would be interesting.
Yeah, from the John Carpenter movie Vampires, among other things. Great movie also, if you haven't seen it.
Also from the list of Trump defenders.
You might know him from there. But I'm gonna know him from the thing I like. So I'm gonna like him from a John Carpenter movie. How about that? Matt, now player's choice here. You get to choose the settings. Do you want me to read the quote, or would you prefer that I do a what we call a Paul Woods impression?
Always a Paul Woods impression.
Matt once again has chosen the Paul Woods impression here. Matt, so once again, the game is we're going to cherry pick a Jeff Blashill quote out of context. It might even not be an entire line from Jeff Blashill, but it made me laugh. So we're going to see if Matt can guess who Jeff Blashill was talking about. Matt, are you buckled in?
I'm buckled.
Matt is thoroughly buckled. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. This week, Jeff Blashill was asked about many players being rented out to teams over in Europe. Apparently, that's somewhere outside of the United States and Canada where they play hockey, Matt. Fascinating to learn. It is a global sport. So without name dropping the player here, they asked, what are you hoping to see from player blank? And among Blashill's many lines, Matt, here's Paul Woods. And what I want to know is he winning puck battles? Is he good?
All right.
Now, did I doctor the quote a little bit to make it sound like he's just blatantly saying, is our player good? Yes, I did. So know that going in. Know that you only got to hear Paul Woods for maybe a second. I can read it one more time, but that's all you get.
All right. So he's not talking about anybody that was just drafted, I'm pretty sure.
I can't lead the witness. He could be talking about Lucas Raymond. I don't know. Could be.
I don't think you would say that. I think
would I double bluff you? Matt, the key line here, is he good?
I'm going to say Philip Zadina.
Matt, you are going to say Philip Zadina. You are going to be correct.
Yes!
Matt wins this week's episode of Who's It Pokemon? The full quote was, is he good defensively? But I cherry-picked it to say, is he good?
That's terrible. You're a monster.
I warned you beforehand, so everybody knew going in that it was a respectfully edited, out of context quote from Blashill on a top Red Wing prospect. Everybody knew the game. I think all was fair. Matt, you ended up guessing it anyway. Congratulations. Yeah. I'm very excited to have more segments of Who's That Pokemon.
Here's the key. I think that he would only be asked that and respond in that way when he's talking about someone that we haven't quite seen a full season of. And I didn't think we were gonna get that about, we're definitely not getting about Hronek. Like Hronek we're set on. And I think the only other option there would be, is he good enough to join the NHL, would be Mort Seider. And that's where I couldn't believe that it was Mort Seider, so I had to go Philip Zadina, even though we all believe it. But we also, I'm going to guess that came from, you said the Free Press or the Detroit News, right?
Neither of those. I will withhold my source. But what I was trying to do is catch you a little off guard there by having you think that Jeff Blashill goes into his scouting reports with a big Santa Claus-like naughty or nice list, and whether player is good or bad.
Well, I still got it, even though I think my explanation of why I got it is making less sense.
Well,
the more that you describe,
brought to you without the permission of Nintendo, Niantic, even, who has some ownership in Pokemon. Matt, that was this week's version. I think we've finished all our segments. Beautiful. Good. The human slowpoke himself. That's a Pokemon, in case he ever listens. Matt, does that wrap it up for episode 83?
Yeah, I think we're good to go. We're going to ride off into the sunset. Everybody, thanks for checking us out. Don't forget, we still have that you can win a Red Wings jersey if you go to @BODHockey, retweet our pinned post right at the top. Oh, you know what? This is really, if you're listening now, you can do it. If you're listening on the live stream, unfortunately, if you're listening on a podcast, it's already been decided. So unfortunately, you're missing out when this is released Monday morning. I should have mentioned that earlier. So unfortunately, now that I'm seeing no retweets, we're probably stuck at the number we're stuck at. But everybody that did give it a shot to try and get the Red Wings as the winning podcast, I do appreciate it quite a bit. And we even got some folks that found us, Mike, through Facebook this week. So I appreciate those folks as well for joining along. And continue to follow along. We want to keep giving you content. I've got our NHL 21 review. I'm actually going to play NHL 21 on the PlayStation 5 to give you guys sort of an update on if anything's changed, if anything feels better, feels quicker. I thought that was important. So I held off on releasing the NHL 21 reviews. So you guys will get that later this week. And then, just keep an eye out. I think Jesse's going to be putting together the Bobby Ryan take and what his value could be if he hits the trade market. All right. So everybody, thanks again. @BODHockey on Twitter. Brothers a Discussion on YouTube if you guys want to check out that channel. And then Facebook, we're just Red Wings Rant if you guys want to follow us there. We're still fresh and new on Facebook. So start the conversation over there. We greatly appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.